Alright, I put it off long enough. It's time to talk about this comic book we know nothing about. So for those who don't know, last year it was announced that Dynamite Entertainment would be publishing a Ben 10 comic book series. It was announced alongside a Captain Planet comic book series that has already released. But with Ben 10, it's not coming out until next year. So what's going on behind the scenes with this Ben 10 comic? We don't really know, other than Man of Action is still writing it. They were announced as the writers last year, and they are still working on it right now. So yeah, Dynamite Entertainment definitely announced the comic way too early, but it's whatever. And Ben 10 fans have definitely been very hungry for information on this comic series. There is one question about it that is on everyone's minds above everything else. Will it canon? That is the question. So first off, is this comic just going to be a continuation of Ben 10 2016? For those who didn't watch the 2016 Ben 10 reboot, the series kind of ended with some unresolved questions that the finale did not address. Most of those questions revolved around Kevin Levin. In the end of the movie, Ben 10 vs. the Universe, Kevin just kind of disappears, presumably taking the Omnitrix key with him. After the movie, we only get to see a future version of Kevin during the Ben 10,000 era, where he is stuck now as Humongoraptor, which was an alien he never used before in the series. And how exactly Kevin's anti-Omnitrix worked was also left unresolved for the most part. We know that Vilgax sent Kevin the instructions on how to build the Omnitrix through it in the Null Void, but that's about it. We never got to find out what powers the Omnitrix, how Kevin got his DNA samples, or what the heck Bashmouth is. So there is absolutely a lot more room in the Ben 10 2016 universe for more stories that answer those questions. But I don't think a continuation of Ben 10 2016 is all that likely of an outcome. While Ben 10 2016 was a very popular kids show, I don't think they're going to bring it back. Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers have kind of been focusing their marketing more towards the original Ben 10 series along with its free sequel series. And yeah, their attention has definitely moved away from Ben 10 2016. It kind of feels like the show is starting to be, pushed aside in favor of the original Ben 10. So perhaps instead, the comic will be a continuation of the original classic Ben 10 series. They could just pick up right where Secret of the Omnitrix left off and continue young Ben's adventures. That's kind of what the Ben 10 reboot was supposed to be anyway. More of the lost Ben 10 adventures we didn't get to see in the original show. They could also do what the fans really want and are really asking for, a continuation of Ben 10 Omniverse, showing the road trip after the end of the series. However, I don't think this is super likely either. Man of Action has kind of talked about how they don't want to return to the classic Ben 10 universe. They want to continue forward, creating new iterations of Ben 10 instead of looking back. So could it just be another reboot? Are we starting over again? From what I read, that's kind of what Dynamite has been doing anyway with all the other Warner Brothers properties they've gotten, with the exception of the Powerpuff Girls. The current Thundercats comic is pretty much a reboot, but it's using a lot of the same character designs as the original Thundercats to keep it consistent with the brand. And Captain Planet did actually get a new design for his comic book series, so the same could be said for Ben 10. There is another option as well, which I think is all of the above. Dynamite has the freedom to do whatever they want with the Ben 10 license. They could start a new universe with a new 10-year-old Ben comic, and then they can also do a continuation of Omniverse, and then also do a Ben 10 2016 comic, and then also do a Ben 10,000 comic, and then do a Generator X comic, or a Kevin 11 comic, or a Gwen 10 comic, or a Grandpa Max comic. They can do anything. So does continuity even matter? Well, yeah, but also no, but also yes, but also no. I kind of feel like the message of the Across the Spider-Verse movie was supposed to be, continuity, it is important, you should care about it, but not to the same extent as Miguel O'Hara. Don't get that serious about it. It's not that important. We are just gonna have to wait and see what Dynamite's gonna do with Ben 10. Who knows? It can be literally anything. That's all I have to say in this video. I got a lot of other Ben 10 videos you can watch. I have this entire series of videos called the Ben 10 Guide. You should definitely check that out. Goodbye, everyone.